special title element, a new title element, which has all the SEO tags available from H1 till H6. And you can also create a div or a span. So let's drop an image element on the page and access the dashboard. And then we're going to be looking for our title element. Title. Let's see if it appears right here. Okay, so now you can see that we have the option of creating gradient titles where you can add colors you like, and also you can specify the angle of your gradient. So if you would like to add another color, just add it like that. A nice option as well is that you can add a image background, or you can create an image background. It's a fill actually, it's not a background of course. You can also set a no fill, because there is also an option where you can specify a border around that text, where you can specify the width of the border as well as the color. But for now, let's turn off the border like that, and let's set our gradient just like that. So we can leave this H1 like this, and there is another really nice feature which uses a scalable font and viewport with units. So when selecting this option, you will have to specify a minimum width, so it doesn't get smaller than that specific one. So let's set it to 40 pixels, for example, and a maximum width. And we're going to leave that 200, and now let's increase that a little bit to 250 maybe. You can see that it already increases. But the real reason it increases is not only because of this, but because of our preferable font size. If you were to play around with this, you can see that it increases, decreases. And this will depend on our screen width. So I'm going to set this, for example, to 7.5, and then a maximum of 250, so it will never exceed that. I'm also going to change my font family. I got a nice thick one right here, Poppins. You can also obviously add your own custom one by adding the correct name here in the custom font name. If you're already loading it on your Weebly site, there is no real need of loading it through our application. So you can just include that name and then it will load on your site. But we're going to go with that thick one that I just specified, and then we're going to save and see how it looks on our page. So now you can see that in our example, the title was actually on one line, and here it breaks on a line. This is simply because we are working in a container, and my container in the dashboard is a little bit wider, but this depends on every container that you use inside of your it depends on the Weebly theme you're using actually. So in this case, I'm going to decrease it a little bit. Maybe this will work, or let's set it to 6 just to make sure. So it's on one line. You can actually play around with it and make sure that you get like the perfect title size you want to use. So you can see that it looks pretty nice here. The colors are probably not the most adequate for this specific site, but this is just a demo purpose. So let's have a look. So how does this work actually, this scalable font? So let's have a look at our title here, and you can already see that this is my entire screen width. But now when you decrease and increase the size, it adjusts accordingly. We have set the minimum, so at a specific moment, you can see here nothing is really happening. This is because our minimum font size has been set to 40 pixels, so it will never get any lower than that. If we were to make it taller and taller and taller, you can see that at a specific moment, well, you cannot see it in this case actually. If I were to decrease the maximum font size, it would also stop actually. But in this case, you can see that it's nicely scaling down and up. So now let's have a quick look at some more of the options included. You can add a border, of course, like mentioned before. You can add it not only when using a no-fill option, you can of course add it as well if you do want to use a fill option. So let's increase that border a little bit, just like that maybe. And then let's go and have a look at the image option. So now we have a image here that is being used as a fill. You can see that when using this option, that there is no option of uploading an image. So you would have to provide an image path. So how do you include an image path? The best way to include it is actually to load it on your own site so that you're hosting that image yourself. So let's just save it. I have created an additional page, a hidden page, which is called, in this case, hidden images. You can call that page name whatever you want. I hid it from the navigation. I also hid it from the search engines because it's not really necessary to use. So now you just need to go to your live page. I'm going to grab that title and I'm going to paste it here at the back of my URL. And then you can see my images are here. So in this case, I'm going to grab this one. So all you need to do is right click on that image and then copy the image address. So we need to include our image path here. Let's go back to our home page, to our title, dashboard. And I don't think that the border looks nice in this case, but, and then we're going to include it here. So if you were to remove the entire title, you can see that nothing is happening. Once you add a new path, the only way you are going to be sure that it is loaded there is if it is becoming visible inside of our editor. You can also see that there is another option which is called an animation. So you can actually use a fill animation, which makes this title even more special in my opinion. So just let's save. And then you can see sparkle our title here really. Again, I don't think it's the most appropriate title actually, or color or fill image we're using for this specific site, but you can see where this is going. So I hope you will get a lot of this title and that you will keep creating those beautiful Weebly sites. Thank you.